Earth avoided the war, until the deadliest foe crossed our path, Admiral. Diane Morgan stood on the bridge of the ESS Defender watching the stars. She had seen many things in her 40 years of service, but nothing like this. The massive object that appeared at the edge of the solar system 3 days ago did not move. It did not respond to messages. It simply waited. Admiral Morgan turned to her crew. Their faces showed worry. The unknown ship was 3 times larger than any human vessel. Its shape was a perfect hexagon which broke all rules of space engineering. Lieutenant Kate Wilson looked up from her station. Sweat covered her forehead. Her fingers moved quickly over the control panel. The scanner results made no sense. The strange ship blocked all attempts to see inside it. The technology was beyond anything humans had seen before. Admiral Morgan knew this was trouble. Earth had stayed out of the Great Space War for 15 years. The Orion people and the Sagittarius people had fought across. Half the galaxy Earth watched from a distance, offering help to those who fled but never taking sides. This new ship was different. It belonged to neither side. The bridge door opened. Commander Aaron Grant entered carrying a data tablet. Her eyes were wide with fear. Admiral Morgan knew what this meant before Commander Grant spoke. The strange ship had moved. It now headed toward the Mars Colony. Admiral. Morgan pressed the emergency button. Red lights flashed across the ship. Alarms sounded. Warning. Messages went to all Earth ships and bases. The war Earth had avoided for so long had finally found them. 5,000 people lived on Mars Colony. They had no major weapons. Earth kept most weapons near home to avoid looking like a threat to others. This plan now seemed foolish. Admiral Morgan ordered all ships to protect Mars. The closest help was still hours away. On the main screen, the strange ship glowed with purple light. Smaller ships came out of hidden doors. They moved fast toward Mars. Lieutenant Wilson spoke in a tight voice. They will reach Mars before we can. Admiral Morgan clenched her fists. We need more time. Commander Grant looked at a message that just arrived. Her face went pale. A single word escaped her mouth. No. What is it? Morgan asked. The alien sent a message to all human stations. The words appeared on every screen in a strange mechanical voice. We are the Void Collective. You will be removed. Admiral Morgan slammed her hand on the command table. Send every available ship, all of them. Now. The crew jumped into action. Messages went out to all Earth forces. The situation changed from alert to war in seconds. On distant Earth, people looked up at the night sky. Most knew nothing about the danger coming. Some noticed unusual activity. Bright lights moved across the sky as hidden defense ships rose to meet the threat. In her private office on the moon, Dr. Samantha Lee watched the data flow across her screen. As the top language expert, she had prepared for alien contact for years. This was not how she imagined it would happen. The alien message contained something strange. Hidden code. Something designed to attack Earth computers. Dr. Lee sent urgent warnings to all ships. Stop using standard communication systems. The aliens used Earth messages as a weapon. Her warning came too late for many ships. The first alien vessels reached Mars Colony. The defenses fell quickly. The small human weapons could not stop them. Colonial buildings burned. People ran for underground shelters. Many never made it. Admiral Morgan watched in horror as the colony fell. Reports of strange energy weapons came in before communication stopped. The aliens did not take prisoners. They did not want resources. They simply destroyed in a secret facility deep under the Pacific Ocean. Chairwoman Patricia Donahue called an emergency meeting. The highest leaders of Earth gathered. They faced a terrible choice. For years, Earth had worked on secret weapons from alien technology found near Neptune. They hoped never to use them. Now they had no choice. Chairwoman Donahue looked at the grim faces around her. We always knew this day might come. We prepared for it. We must use the Phoenix Protocol far from Mars aboard the experimental ship ESS Artemis. Captain Heather Wright received special orders. Her ship carried technology no other human vessel had. The firewall system could change the laws of physics in a small area. The weapon was never tested in battle. Captain Wright looked at her crew. They all knew this might be a one-way mission. The Artemis moved quietly toward the main alien ship. The special engines left no trail to follow. Commander Melissa Byrne worked at the weapons station. Her hands shook slightly as she prepared the firewall system. "If this works, we reveal our secret to the galaxy," she said. "If it fails, Earth dies." Captain Wright nodded grimly. "Either way, everything changes today." The Artemis disappeared in a flash of light using technology. Humans barely understood. It reappeared, behind the alien dreadnought. Now Commander Wright ordered. The firewall activated a shimmering field surrounded the alien ship. Inside that field, the rules of reality changed. The massive ship began to fold in on itself as its very atoms became unstable. Throughout the solar system, the smaller alien ships stopped moving, cut off from their control ship. Earth had won the first battle. But Admiral Morgan knew the war had just begun. She looked at the silent stars beyond Mars. The galaxy would now turn its eyes toward Earth. The humans had hidden their true power for years. That time was over. "We just changed everything," Morgan whispered. "We cannot go back." The remains of the alien ship floated in space like a broken toy. The ESS Artemis held position nearby. Captain Heather Wright watched through the main viewport. Her heart still raced from the battle. The firewall weapon worked better than anyone expected. The alien vessel simply came apart when exposed to altered physics. Captain Wright should have felt victorious. Instead, she felt afraid. "What have we done, Commander?" Melissa Byrne asked quietly. They both knew this action would have consequences, far beyond this battle. Communications officer Linda Parker turned from her station. "Captain, we have an urgent message from Earth Command. All ships are ordered to defensive positions." The war room under the Pacific Ocean buzzed with activity scientists. Military leaders and government officials crowded around displays showing the solar system. Chairwoman Patricia Donahue stood at the center. Her face showed the weight of command. Dr. Amy Richardson, chief scientist of the Firewall Project, pointed at the remains of the alien vessel. "The energy signature from our weapon would be visible across half the galaxy," she explained. "Everyone watching the Orion-Sagittarius War will now look at us." Intelligence Director Carol Martinez nodded grimly. "Intercepted messages between the warring factions. Both sides have stopped fighting each other. They discuss an alliance against us." Admiral Morgan concluded, "The alien ship that attacked us appears to be an automated system." Carol continued, "A leftover from a civilization that died long ago." "A sentinel, a ghost ship?" Chairwoman Donahue asked with disbelief. "More like a space robot designed to attack any advanced technology it finds," Amy explained. "And we just showed. We can destroy it. We demonstrated power that neither the Orion nor Sagittarius forces have." The room grew quiet as everyone understood. The two great powers of the galaxy would now see Earth as a greater threat than each other. "How long do we have?" Admiral Morgan asked. "Based on their fastest ships," Carol replied. 3 months, maybe less if they hid their true abilities." Chairwoman Donahue straightened her shoulders. "Activate the Ascension Protocol. It's time to show what Earth has really built." Beneath 7 locations around Earth, massive doors opened. Secret shipyards hidden for a decade revealed their treasures. Spaceships unlike any seen before. Dark hulls that absorbed light rather than reflected it. Organic flowing shapes that looked alive rather than built. Major Lisa Torres led Dr. Nicole Jordan through the largest facility under the Mariana Trench. The doctor stopped in amazement when she saw the enormous ships. "How many are there?" Nicole asked, her voice barely above a whisper. 12 capital ships in this facility alone," Lisa answered, "each with support craft. And this is one of 7 such yards." Nicole shook her head in wonder. "All this time we thought Project Ascension was just a theory. Earth has prepared since we first detected the Great War," Lisa explained. "Not to join it, but because we knew it would find us eventually." They stopped before the largest vessel, its name written in subtle letters. ESS Phoenix. The Phoenix can use the firewall at 10 times the power of Artemis, Lisa said, "and that is just one of its weapons." The ESS Defender returned to Earth orbit. Admiral Morgan left her ship and traveled to lunar headquarters. The damage reports from Mars colony were worse than expected. 4,000 dead. Only 1,000 survivors hiding in deep shelters. In the main conference room, Morgan met with Fleet Command. The holographic display showed the positions of all Earth forces. We have 87 days before the first enemy ships arrive. Admiral Zhao said, assuming they travel at known speeds, and if they come faster, Morgan asked, then we fight sooner. Zhao replied simply. Fleet engineer Susan Harris activated a different display. This showed the secret ascension ships. Each vessel carried weapons and defenses far beyond regular Earth ships. The Phoenix class can deploy multiple firewall fields, Susan explained. They can disrupt physics across an entire battle area. The Orion and Sagittarius forces have no defense against this, but they will adapt. Morgan said. They always do. Yes, Susan agreed. Which is why we must strike first. The word strike hung in the air. Earth had always been peaceful, never the aggressor. Now they discussed attacking first. We have no choice. Chairwoman Donahue said, joining the meeting through hologram. If we wait for them to come here, Earth becomes a battlefield. Where do we attack, Morgan? Asked Intelligence Director. Carol appeared in the hologram beside the chairwoman. We identified 3 main staging areas where they gather forces. These will be our targets on board. The ESS Phoenix Captain Charlotte Davis inspected her new command. The ship hummed with power unlike anything she had experienced. The crew moved with purpose, though most had trained only in simulations until now. The weapons. Officer Mary Adams demonstrated the main systems. The regular weapons seemed almost primitive next to the reality-changing firewall technology, but they would be needed. The firewall required massive energy and time between uses. Captain Davis studied the star chart showing their first target. A Sagittarius naval base 20 light-years away. The mission seemed impossible. Attack a major alien installation and return safely. But the Phoenix had advantages. The alien forces had never seen. Deep in, the ship engineer Kimberly Beck made final adjustments to the drive system. The Phoenix did not move through space like other ships. It folded space itself, moving vast distances in moments. Is it ready? Captain Davis asked through the communication. System almost, Kim replied. The math must be perfect or we could end up inside a sun. Take your time, the captain said calmly. But be quick about it. Across Earth, people noticed strange lights in the sky. The secret could not be kept any longer. President Ellen Carter addressed the world. The speech was simple and direct. For 15 years we have watched as others fought a terrible war. We stayed neutral, offering aid to refugees but avoiding conflict. Now a new enemy has attacked us without warning. We must defend ourselves. We are not alone in the universe and we are not helpless. The speech brought fear but also pride. Humans would not surrender without a fight. On the Phoenix, Captain Davis received final orders. The ship would lead the first strike against the Sagittarius base. If successful, the mission would show Earth as a power to respect, not a planet to conquer. The massive ship rose from the ocean water streaming from its dark hull. Its strange shape unlike any vessel humans had built before it moved silently upward. Gathering speed in space, it joined with 5 sister ships, each powerful enough to destroy a small moon. Together they prepared for the first human attack in the Great Galactic War. Captain Davis looked at her crew. Their faces showed determination mixed with fear. They would make this jump without knowing what waited on the other side. But they had no choice. Earth needed time to prepare its defenses. The best defense would be to show their strength. Engineer Kim spoke through the system. Ready, Captain. Davis nodded. Make the jump space folded around the 6 ships. In an instant they vanished. The war Earth had avoided for so long had now begun, and there would be no going back. The 6 Earth ships appeared at the edge of the Sagittarius star system space, folded back to normal around them. Captain Charlotte Davis looked at the tactical display. The element of surprise worked perfectly. The alien base orbited the 4th planet, its defenses pointed outward. Not expecting attack from behind. Take us in silent mode, she ordered. The Phoenix and its sister ships moved forward. Their dark hulls absorbed sensor scans rather than reflecting them. The alien base grew larger. On the screen, it housed over 200 warships. Most sat inactive in docking bays, Captain. Davis turned to her weapons officer, Mary Adams. We have one chance to make a statement. Fire when ready. Mary nodded as her fingers danced across the control panel. The Phoenix hummed as power built in its main weapons. The firewall activated a shimmering field extended toward the alien base. Inside that field, physics changed in subtle ways. Metals became brittle, energy weapons backfired. Shields failed, the alien base noticed too late. Alarms sounded throughout their installation, but their weapons malfunctioned when fired. Their shields collapsed. The other Earth ships launched conventional attacks. Precise strikes disabled key systems without destroying. The entire base, Captain Davis had clear orders. Disable, not destroy. This was a demonstration of power, not genocide. In the base control room, Sagittarius commanders watched in shock as their systems failed. The attackers used technology they had never seen. The weapons affected reality itself. Only one race had demonstrated such power recently. Humans. Captain Davis broadcast on all frequencies. This is Captain Charlotte Davis of Earth vessel Phoenix. We have disabled your base and fleet. We could destroy them but choose not to. She paused, letting the aliens see the mercy Earth offered. We seek no territory. We want no resources. We only wish to be left alone. Return to your leaders with this message. Earth is not your enemy unless you make us. So the Phoenix and its sister ships began to withdraw, leaving the disabled but intact base behind. As they prepared to fold space again, sensors detected energy surges. Sagittarius reinforcements arrived. Ships appeared at the system edge too late. Lieutenant Stacy Evans said, "They missed us." Captain Davis watched the angry Sagittarius fleet. The mission succeeded. Earth demonstrated its power without excessive bloodshed. Now came the dangerous part, getting home. Fold space, she ordered. Take us back. The 6 ships disappeared moments before enemy weapons reached them. On Earth, people celebrated the successful mission. News of the attack spread quickly. Humanity had struck back, shown their strength, but military leaders knew better. This was just the beginning. Admiral Morgan met with Chairwoman Donahue in the Secure Command Center. The holographic display showed all known alien fleet movements. We have their attention, Morgan said. But the question is, what will they do next? Donahue nodded, grimly. Our intelligence suggests they will not rush to attack Earth directly. They fear our firewall technology. Then what? Morgan asked. They will look for weaknesses, learn our limits, find a way to counter our advantage. In distant space aboard an Orion, science vessel, alien researchers studied footage of the Earth attack. The firewall technology fascinated and terrified them. The lead scientist, Carax, turned to his leader. This power breaks the laws of physics. Elder. It changes reality itself. The Orion. Elder, a female of great age named Shral, nodded. If humans master this power fully, they could remake the galaxy in their image. We cannot allow this. Prepare a delegation. Shral ordered. I will speak with our Sagittarius enemies. We need an alliance on Mars. The survivors emerged from underground shelters. Earth rescue ships arrived, bringing supplies and hope. Temporary domes replaced destroyed buildings. The colony would rebuild stronger than before. Kelly Foster, head of Mars colony, stood in the new command center. Her world lay in ruins, but her people survived, and now they had purpose. Mars would become the first line of defense, a fortress world protecting Earth in lunar headquarters. Dr. Samantha Lee continued her work understanding alien languages. The Void Collective message still troubled her. She studied it endlessly, looking for clues about the mysterious attackers. The door to her lab opened. Major Lisa Torres entered, carrying a sealed case. Dr. Lee, we found something at the crash site of the alien ship. You should see it. Inside the case lay a small device covered in strange symbols. Unlike the rest of the ship, this piece survived intact. Dr. Lee examined it carefully. This is some kind of recording device, she said, excitement in her voice. It might tell us who built that ship. She connected the device to her computer using special interfaces designed for alien technology. The screen filled with ancient symbols. Dr. Lee gasped as the translation program began to work. "This isn't from the Void Collective," she whispered. "This is much older." The message translated, slowly revealing a warning from long ago. The galaxy once held many advanced civilizations, until something began destroying them, one by one. The Void Collective formed to fight this enemy, a force so powerful it could erase entire star systems. "We created the Sentinels as our last hope." The message read, "If you find this, our civilization has fallen. The enemy approaches your world. Prepare or die like we did, Doctor." Lee sent the message to Earth Command immediately. The implications chilled her. The ship that attacked Earth was not the enemy, but a defender. The true threat remained unknown. On the Phoenix, Captain Davis received new orders. The ship would lead an expedition beyond known space. To find the source of the Sentinel ship and learn about the ancient enemy, the Phoenix prepared for its longest journey. The crew knew they might not return, but Earth needed answers before departure. Captain Davis spoke with Admiral Morgan. The older woman looked tired. The weight of command showed on her face. "Find out what we're really facing." Morgan said, "We defeated one Sentinel. But if there are more, I understand." Captain Davis replied, "We won't fail. The Phoenix departed alone this time. Its mission too dangerous for a larger fleet." The ship vanished into folded space, heading toward the darkest region of the galaxy on Earth. Defensive preparations continued. New weapons platforms surrounded the planet. The moon became a fortress. Humans prepared for war as they had never done before. President Carter addressed the United Nations. "We face threats. We barely understand, but humanity will survive. We always have. In deep space, far beyond human sensors, massive objects moved toward Earth territory. Not Orion, not Sagittarius. Something else. Something ancient and patient that had noticed the destruction of its sentinel. Something that had destroyed civilizations far more advanced than humanity. And now it turned its full attention to Earth." The Phoenix traveled through regions no human ship had ever visited. Captain Charlotte Davis stood on the bridge watching unfamiliar stars. The ship had made 12 space folds, each taking them farther from home. They followed energy traces similar to the Sentinel ship that attacked Earth. Lieutenant Stacy Evans monitored the sensors. "Captain, I detect something ahead. Large structures in a binary star system." The Phoenix slowed as it approached. The structures became visible on the main screen. They were Sentinel ships, dozens of them. Some appeared damaged. Others looked ready for battle, all orbited a massive space station. "We found their base," Captain Davis said quietly. "Now we need information, not a fight. Take us in slow passive sensors, only." The Phoenix moved carefully. Its dark hull, blended with space engineer Kimberly Beck, adjusted the systems to minimize any energy signature. The ship essentially became a ghost, invisible to standard detection. As they came closer, they saw the station had suffered damage. Parts of it lay broken, sections exposed to vacuum. Something had attacked this place long ago. "Captain, we should send a probe," Davis ordered. "It will draw less attention than our ship." A small probe launched from the Phoenix. It moved toward the station, transmitting data back. Detailed scans revealed the station was ancient, perhaps millions of years old, yet some sections still had power. The probe entered through a damaged section. Its cameras showed massive halls and chambers designed for beings larger than humans. The walls contained symbols similar to those found on the Sentinel device. Communications officer Linda Parker worked with the ship's computer to translate. The writing spoke of a great enemy that came from between galaxies, a force that consumed worlds and civilizations. The Void Collective built this station as a command center for their Sentinel fleet. The last defense against extinction. Suddenly alarms sounded throughout the Phoenix. The probe detected movement inside the station. Things awakened after eons of sleep. Metal creatures with multiple limbs, guardians left to protect the station. The probe transmitted images before the guardians destroyed it. Captain Davis ordered immediate withdrawal, but it was too late. The Sentinels detected the Phoenix energy surges indicated weapons powering up. "We need to leave now," Davis ordered. "Prepare for emergency space." Fold Engineer Kim shook her head. "The drives need time to recharge from our last jump." "We need 10 minutes. We don't have 10 minutes, Mary said from the weapons station. The Sentinels launched now 5 ships heading toward us. Captain Davis made a quick decision. Activate the firewall, target the lead ships only. We need to buy time. The firewall. Deployed. A shimmering field extended toward the approaching Sentinels. The lead ships faltered as physics changed around them. Their systems failing, but the others adjusted quickly. Learning, adapting. They changed course to avoid the firewall field. They know our technology, Davis realized. They adapted after our attack on Earth. Mary fired conventional weapons. The Sentinels evaded most attacks, their movements impossibly precise. The ships that reached the Phoenix fired strange energy weapons. The shields barely held. Engineering reports damage to decks 3 and 4. Kim reported drive charging at maximum, but we need 7 more minutes. The Phoenix turned, trying to keep its strongest shields toward the attackers. Captain Davis ordered all power to defensive systems. The ship shuddered under repeated hits. Linda looked up from communications. "Captain, I found something in the data. The station core still has power. If we hit it with the firewall, it might create a chain reaction." Mary finished. "Understanding the plan, but we would need to get close," Davis said. "Too dangerous." Engineer Kim spoke through the system. 5 minutes to drive recharge. Another hit rocked the ship. Shield strength down to 40%. Mary reported. 2 more Sentinel ships launching from the station. We won't survive 5 minutes. Davis decided new plan. Take us toward the station. Full speed. The Phoenix turned racing toward the massive station. The Sentinel ships followed, firing constantly. Shield strength dropped with each hit. 30%. 20. The ship shook violently. Damage reports came from all sections. The station grew larger on the screen. Its central core glowed with ancient power. Mary prepared the firewall. The system strained as it charged. The Phoenix had never fired at full power before. 500 kilometers to target. Stacy counted down. 403. The Sentinel ships closed in, their weapons tearing at the Phoenix shields. Kim reported multiple system failures. Fires on several decks. The ship would not survive much longer. 200 kilometers. 100 fire everything, Davis ordered. The firewall deployed at maximum power. The reality distortion field reached out, enveloping the station core. For a moment, nothing happened. Then physics itself rebelled against the ancient technology. The station core imploded, then exploded. The blast caught the Phoenix, hurling it away like a leaf in a storm. The Sentinel ships nearest the station disintegrated. Emergency fold now. Davis screamed as the ship tumbled out of control. Engineer Kim activated the spacefold drive despite danger warnings. The Phoenix vanished moments before the full force of the explosion reached it. In Earth space defense satellites detected an unusual energy surge. A ship appeared, its hull blackened, systems failing. The Phoenix had returned barely intact. Rescue ships rushed to assist. The crew survived, though many suffered injuries. Captain Davis delivered her report directly to Earth Command on AD. "Sentinels are guardians," she explained. "Built by the Void Collective to fight something worse, something that destroyed their civilization. And now, it's coming for us." Earth prepared for war. Scientists studied the Phoenix data, looking for weaknesses. In Sentinel technology, new firewall systems protected major cities. The Ascension fleet grew as more ships launched from hidden bases. Then long-range sensors detected something massive approaching from deep space. Not Sentinels. Something else, an object the size of a small moon, moving faster than should be possible. Dr. Samantha Lee studied sensor readings of the object. Its power signature matches descriptions in the Void Collective warning. She told Admiral Morgan, "This is the enemy they feared. This is what destroyed them." "How do we fight it?" Morgan asked. "The truth is, I'm not sure we can," Lee admitted. "The object absorbs energy. Weapons might only make it stronger. On the command deck of Earth Defense Station Alpha, Admiral Morgan watched the tactical display. The enormous object slowed as it reached the outer solar system. It stopped near Jupiter. Energy readings spiked. Suddenly, Jupiter changed. The largest planet in the solar system began to dim. Its storms calmed, its color faded. The object is draining. Jupiter. Morgan realized it's feeding on the planet. President Carter called an emergency meeting of all Earth leaders. The situation appeared hopeless. The object could drain energy from a gas giant. What could Earth do against such power? Dr. Amy Richardson proposed a desperate plan. We modify the firewall, she explained. Instead of changing physics in a small area, we create a massive distortion between the object and Earth. Essentially a barrier it cannot cross. The power requirements, Morgan began, will be enormous. Richardson agreed. Every ascension ship, every power plant on Earth and Mars, all functioning together might generate enough energy for one shot. One shot is all we need. Chairwoman Donahue said firmly, make it happen. Engineers worked frantically to link Earth's power grid to the defense systems. The Ascension fleet formed a ring around Earth, each ship connected to the others sharing power. The modified firewall would deploy from this ring. The mysterious object finished. With Jupiter, the gas giant now looked pale and lifeless. The object turned toward Earth. It began to move again. In homes across Earth, people watched the sky. Many prayed. Some held celebrations, knowing these might be their last days. Humanity faced extinction but would not go quietly. The object crossed Mars' orbit. Mars colony activated its defenses, knowing they could not stop it, but determined to try. The colony launched all weapons. The object barely noticed. It continued its approach. Unstoppable, Admiral Morgan stood on the command deck of the flagship ESS Guardian. The entire Ascension fleet surrounded her. The modified firewall system linked all ships into one massive weapon. She gave the order humanity would make its final stand. The massive object approached Earth, its surface black as space itself. No features visible, just perfect darkness. The object had no definite shape. It seemed to shift and flow as if not fully solid. Admiral Morgan watched from the ESS Guardian. The fleet surrounded Earth in formation, each ship connected to the others through energy links, the modified firewall system ready but untested. This is Admiral Morgan to all ships, she broadcast. Stand ready, engage on my command on Earth. People looked up at the night sky. The object now visible as a dark spot that blocked the stars. President Ellen Carter addressed the world. One last time today. We face our greatest challenge, she said. We do not know if we will survive. But know this, humanity stands together. If we fall as one people united. If we survive, we will be forever changed in lunar headquarters. Dr. Samantha Lee made final adjustments to the firewall calculations. The system would create a massive distortion in space. A wall the enemy could not cross, but the energy required would drain Earth completely. The planet would go dark. Captain Charlotte Davis now served aboard the Guardian. Her experience with the Sentinel base proved valuable. She helped coordinate the fleet. The Phoenix, too damaged for battle, had yielded its firewall core to strengthen the Guardian. The object reached lunar orbit. It ignored the moon, completely focused only on Earth. Its purpose clear: to drain all energy from the planet, as it had done to countless worlds before. Dr. Lee looked at final readings. The object absorbs energy at incredible rates. She told Admiral Morgan, standard weapons would only make it stronger. The firewall is our only hope. Morgan nodded grimly. Begin power. Transfer across. Earth lights dimmed, then went out. Power flowed to the defense fleet, energy from every source redirected to the firewall. Cities went dark. Transportation stopped. Hospitals switched to emergency generators. The planet sacrificed everything for this one chance. The fleet glowed with gathered energy. The ships connected in a perfect circle, creating a web of power. Above them, the dark object descended, still silent, still hungry. Now Morgan ordered. The firewall activated, not as a small field but as a massive plane between Earth and the object reality itself warped in that space. The laws of physics changed. Matter and energy behaved differently. The object hit this barrier and stopped. For a moment, hope filled the command deck. The object could not pass, but then horror replaced hope. The object began to absorb the firewall itself. The very energy meant to stop it became its food power levels dropping fast. Captain Davis reported, "The object drains the firewall faster than we can maintain." Dr. Lee stared at her readings in shock. Then sudden understanding filled her eyes. "It's not just absorbing energy," she said. "It's absorbing the changed physics. It's feeding on the distortion itself." Admiral Morgan understood immediately. "Increase power to the firewall maximum output, but that will burn out the entire system." Davis protested. "We will have nothing left." "Exactly," Morgan said. "If this thing feeds on energy and warped physics, give it more than it can handle." The order went out. All ships, all systems. Maximum power. The firewall expanded, grew stronger. The laws of physics distorted more severely. The object continued to absorb. But now it struggled to process the massive influx, like overfeeding a fire. Morgan whispered. The object began to change. Its surface rippled. Distortions appeared within it. The perfect darkness broke, showing glimpses of strange matter beneath the creature. For now, they knew it was alive, struggled with the overwhelming power. "More," Morgan demanded. "Overload all systems." Captain Davis worked frantically, directing power flow. The ship's engines glowed dangerously hot. Systems failed across the fleet, but still they poured energy into the firewall on Earth. Dr. Amy Richardson watched from the darkened command center. "This is working," she said in amazement. "We are overloading it." The object convulsed, its form losing cohesion. Parts of it began to break away. The firewall burned into it, creating chain reactions throughout its mass. Aboard the Guardian, warning alarms sounded. The ship could not sustain this output. The hull began to crack, engine cores approached critical failure, but Admiral Morgan refused to stop. "Keep firing," she ordered. "Until it dies or we do." The object writhed in space. Its darkness fractured by burning lines of energy. It tried to retreat, to pull away from the firewall, but the distortion field followed, locked onto its unique energy signature. The hunters became the hunted. A blinding flash erupted as the object lost cohesion. Its matter converted to pure energy by the overloaded firewall. The explosion rocked the fleet. Ships tumbled out of formation. Power systems failed across the board. On the Guardian, Admiral Morgan picked herself up from the floor. The main screen, cracked but still working, showed only debris where the object had been. "Status report," she demanded. Captain Davis checked damaged systems. "The fleet is heavily damaged," she reported. "Many ships without power. Life support failing on at least 12 vessels. The firewall system is completely burnt out, but the enemy is destroyed." Morgan allowed herself a small smile. "Begin rescue operations. Save everyone we can." As emergency teams worked to save damaged ships, Earth remained in darkness. The power grid would need days to restart. But people celebrated anyway. Humanity survived. 1 week later, a gathering of world leaders met at the United Nations building, lit by emergency generators. President Carter addressed the assembly. "We faced extinction and survived, but at great cost. Our world has changed forever. We now know the dangers that exist among the stars, and we must prepare for them." Outside, reconstruction began. Power returned to major cities slowly. The Ascension fleet underwent repairs. The damaged Phoenix prepared for a new mission, to warn the Orion and Sagittarius people about the greater threat. Admiral Morgan met with Captain Davis aboard the repaired Guardian. "We need allies now," Morgan said. "The ancient enemy is gone, but there may be others." Davis nodded. "I will lead the diplomatic mission. The Phoenix will carry messages of peace to both sides." Her laboratory. Dr. Samantha Lee studied data from the destroyed object. It was a unique life form, she explained to Chairwoman Donahue. A creature that evolved to feed on energy itself, including the energy of distorted physics. Could there be more? Donahue asked. Lee hesitated. We don't know. But the Void Collective warning suggested it came from between galaxies. There could be many more out there sleeping, waiting on. The final day before the Phoenix departed on its peace mission, Admiral Morgan stood with Captain Davis on the observation deck. They watched Earth below. Half the planet still dark as power systems rebuilt. We avoided their war for so long, Morgan said, only to fight something worse, but we won. Davis reminded her, and now perhaps we can help them end their conflict. Morgan nodded. The three civilizations united might face any threat. Earth had changed, from neutral observer to defender against dangers beyond imagination. The Phoenix departed the next day. Its mission no longer war but peace. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge, and though scarred, emerged stronger, no longer alone in the universe, but ready to take its place among the stars as the ship vanished into folded space. Admiral Morgan looked toward the distant stars where the ancient enemy had come from. Earth would be vigilant, Earth would be ready, and Earth would never again stand alone. The end.